Holly. I'm an addict.
Hey, Holly.
Coming to City of Angels was probably one of the most significant things that happened in my life. When I came to that door and walked through here, first time I was told that I was going to the movies with my family. Well, this wasn't a movie. This is my life. They sat there, they brought me in, and they had talked to Redneck and told him about me and everything like that. And I came through these doors, and Red sat me down and said, "Do you want to die? Because that's what's going to happen." And I've heard that before, you know what I'm saying? And being in and out of detox, in and out of rehab, in and out of halfway houses, you know what I mean? It's all the same thing. And I don't know what it was, but sitting in that room over there with Red and having him sit there and just talk to me and kind of just put it out on the table and said, "Listen, like, your family doesn't want to watch you die, and that's what's going to happen." So he offered me the chance to be able to go to detox again, and I was like, okay, I'll do detox, that's fine. Well, luckily I was able to go to detox, so I went over to New Hope Foundation in Marlboro, New Jersey, and I was there for about 2 weeks. And then I also got the chance to be able to go to a program called U-Turn for Christ out in Greenville, Tennessee. Originally I was extremely hesitant because I was like, okay, this is a God thing. I am not about this because God is not a part of my life. I don't believe in a God, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wanted no part. Like, that's just, after my dad died, you know, I lost all faith in him. I honestly, I mean, there was a higher power, but I don't know who it was, you know what I'm saying? And I was lucky enough to go, and I got there, and the first thing that happened when I got there was this woman came out and greeted me, and she's like, "Are you Holly?" And I was like, yeah. And she was like, "Okay, we're gonna go now." And I was like, okay. I get in the car, and the first thing that they do is pray. And I'm like, oh my God, here I go. Like, and I was like, not about it at all, because I was like, what am I getting myself into? Why the hell did Red send me here? I was pissed. So then we start driving, and they start singing all these Christian songs, and I'm like, this is just fantastic. Like, why is this my life right now? So, you know, we're like going, and I was there, and the first 2 weeks were, I think, the hardest for me, because all of them were talking about God and everything like that, and what He's done for them, and I was like, well, He hasn't done anything for me. And they're like, just keep praying. And, you know, I did pray, and I did a little praise here and there, saying, "God, get me the hell out of this place." You know what I'm saying? That was my prayer. But, I don't know, we went to a service one night, and it was on a Wednesday night, and we attended Calvary Chapel in Greenville, Tennessee, and I don't know, the pastor was sharing one night, and he sat there, and it was literally like he was talking to me. Like, literally everything that he said, every feeling, emotion, everything that I had, he explained. And that was kind of a moment of clarity for me, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just sat there and I broke down and I cried because I didn't know how else to feel, you know what I mean? And like, just to like hear those words from a pastor's mouth, you know what I'm saying? And like, I learned that it's not him speaking, it's God speaking through him. You know what I mean? And that day I got saved. Being at U-Turn, I mean, as much as everybody doesn't want to go to treatment centers, doesn't want to go to rehabs, doesn't want to do any of that stuff, like, you know, like, being there truly opened up my eyes. The people there were very, very strict. When you were in trouble, you dug holes. You dug 5 by 5 by 5 foot holes, and I got 3. All for smoking, because you can't smoke at a Christian-based program. I was not about it. But I got through it, you know what I mean? And if that's the one thing that I had to stop doing for the time that I was there, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's good. You know what I'm saying? I lost that, the urge and everything like that to want to get high, you know what I'm saying? And to know that I could sit there and I can rely on somebody else, and even though I may not see that person, and even though I may not be able to talk to them and hear them, I know that my God is sitting there and He's listening to everything that I'm saying. And even when I do pray and I ask Him for things, you know what I mean? Like, I know we're not supposed to ask Him because He's not going to directly give it to you, you know what I'm saying? But He does give you what you need, and He puts you in places for a reason. And I know that for me, I was at U-Turn for a reason, and I'm eternally grateful for that. I was there for just about 3 months. All the girls that I met there, they were just amazing people, like, you know what I mean? And it was great to be there. Like, I'm extremely grateful for that, and I can't, like, explain that enough. After I did leave U-Turn, I went over to Lexington, North Carolina, and I moved into a halfway house down there. It was called Path of Hope, and it was so different coming from, like, you know, like, you don't realize, like, what you have until it's gone, you know what I'm saying? And, like, being in U-Turn, and as much as you sit there, like I said before, like, you hate rehabs, you hate detoxes, you hate everything that you don't want to be at, you know what I'm saying? Because you're not comfortable, and you don't be able to get out of yourself, you know what I mean, as much as you would like to. And coming to the Path of Hope halfway house, like, you know, it was more drama and everything like that, you know what I mean? And I wasn't used to that, because when you were at U-Turn, there was no drama. You weren't allowed to gossip. You weren't allowed to curse. You weren't allowed to smoke, which I was happy about. But anyways, it was extremely different. And, you know, I was lucky enough to be able to get into that halfway house and to live with a group of girls, and all of them were older than me, which was nice, because, like, I used to think that I had to hang out with girls my age, because, you know, that's just what I had to do. And it was so nice to sit there and be with a woman in recovery and that want to stay clean, you know what I'm saying? Because I've never had that. I've always had people in my life before that, you know, when we got bored, we got high. And if we weren't getting high, we were getting drunk. Or if we weren't getting drunk, we were getting high. Like, you know what I mean? That was all that we did. I never left my house, you know what I'm saying? And, like, I got the opportunity to build a connection and to build a network and everything like that with these wonderful ladies that, you know, I know will forever be a part of my life. And I now have a sponsor, and she sits there and she calls me on my shit on everything. And if I'm not happy about something, she says tough shit. And that's not what I want to hear at all, because I want to hear what I want to hear. But through this program and, you know, having the love and support from people that are here, like family members that have, you know, sisters, brothers, kids, like anything like that, nieces, nephews, you know what I mean? Like, to know that you guys are there, like, to love and support us, it's amazing, because I know that I wouldn't be able to have done it without, like, my family and without the people that are here at City of Angels, because you guys have loved and supported me when I couldn't love myself. I really, like, I was just on death's door, literally. Like, I really, honestly, it wasn't even a point of me going to die. I wanted to die. I wanted to die. Like, I'm 22 years old, you know what I mean? Like, who wants to die at 22, you know what I'm saying? And now, where I'm at now, I can sit there and realize that, like, I have so much more to life. And there's so much more to life than drugs, alcohol, you know what I mean? Like, there really is, and I never realized that before. And I have wonderful people in my life today. I have a network. I have people in North Carolina and New Jersey now. You know what I mean? And for me, just for me, I had to get out of the state. I had to get out of here because I needed change. And that was the change that I needed to make, you know what I mean? But my sponsor told me that you can get clean anywhere, you know what I mean? It's all just about how you want to do it, you know what I'm saying? And you have the choice today. And for me, my choice is to sit there and change location. But I know that there's any time that I need anybody, I can pick up the phone and I can call someone. I can call Michelle, I can call Red, you know what I mean? And I have my family still here, you know what I'm saying? And not family, like my family that's here, like at City of Angels. And I will forever be grateful for the people that are here, for the family members, even if you guys aren't my family, you know what I mean? To know that you guys are all here and to know that you guys love and support me no matter what. And that's one of the most important things for me. So I'm extremely grateful for today. I'm grateful that I didn't have to use today to get high, anything like that. I'm grateful to have a bed to sleep in today, because when I was getting high, yeah, that was not happening. I'm just grateful. I have a God that loves me and will love me forever.
You have a what?
A God. I know, it's crazy.
How many holes did you dig?
3.
How many? I didn't hear.
3?
Okay.
What?
Why don't you just explain a little bit about what the holes represent?
Okay. Well, other than the fact that they were extremely strict, they had us dig holes there. It wasn't to sit there and hurt you or anything like that, you know what I mean? It wasn't to be like, oh, well, we don't like you, so go dig a hole. It was for them to sit there and I dug a hole to sit there, and you're digging out all the crap, all the shit, everything that's in you, everything that you've been through, you know what I mean? So that way you're not holding it like on you anymore. Like you're digging that all out. And then after you dug the hole, you had to fill it back in, which was just 10, I don't want to get into it. But anyways, but when you dug, or when you like filled the hole back in, you know what I mean? That represented a new life, you know what I mean? You were supposed to, after you dug all that gunk out, after you dug all the shit that happened in your life out, you know what I mean? You filled it back in, but you filled it with stuff that you learned, you know what I'm saying? And so the hole isn't to represent hurting you, them hating you, you know what I mean? God's punishing you. It wasn't that, because that's what I thought the first hole I did. And I had to learn from my second one that it really was to help me, you know what I mean? And it's just, as crazy as it seems, like when I was out there was probably when I got the most peace. Like honestly, because you're by yourself, you're out there with you and God. You know what I'm saying?
How big is the hole? Yeah.
5 by 5 by 5 foot hole. So it was literally, it was digging your own grave. You know what I'm saying? That's what it really wanted to, like, they wanted that to represent to you.
So you just said that you learned in your second hole what it means. So you learned something from your second hole, then why'd you dig the third one?
Well, cigarettes kind of got in the way. And yeah, that didn't work out too well. But I did still learn from my third, but I didn't finish my third one. But if I ever decide to go back there, I'd have to finish that one and do another. So I don't want to do that anymore. But yeah, I'm just...
But when they do dig the holes, it does. She said it represents the first foot actually represents the anger and resentment, and you're mad at God. And like I said, they're usually mad at me for setting them there. But once they add, every foot represents something different in their life they're cleaning out. And once they get to the bottom, they get out the hole and they leave all that garbage and all that stuff in the hole. You know, and I guess some of them have to take some of it, pull some of it out before they bury it. But you know, so no, but. I mean, the biggest thing you got out of U-turn?
The biggest thing that I got, well, to getting to know God, to have a relationship with Him. It's crazy to explain because growing up, like me and my family never went to church. It was never a huge thing. Like if I went, it was for a holiday or it was for a funeral. You know what I mean? That was the only time that I was ever in a church. So I didn't really know God, you know what I'm saying? I knew that there was somebody up there and there were these huge white clouds and there were gates up there, and I guess when everybody went to heaven or hell. But that's all that I knew, you know what I mean? And going there, like, I actually read the Bible. And I was like, I used to think that it was like the scariest thing ever. I was afraid to even open up that first page. As soon as it said Holy Bible, I was like, nope, I'm good. You know what I mean? Like, seriously, but like, now, like, I can sit there and I actually enjoy it. And it's really weird because if that were me 6 months ago, I'm like, no, not happening. But like, my favorite chapter, like, I don't mean to get all like, you know, really, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
But okay. But my favorite chapter in the Bible is the book of Romans. The book of Romans, a friend that was there with me, she had been in and out of U-turn, the one in California and the one here or in Greenville, Tennessee. And she sat there and she was like, I just want you to read this book. And I was like, okay, what is it? And I was like, how long is it? And she's like, just read it. So I read it, and it was like, I felt like it was for drug addicts, alcoholics, parents that have drug addict, like, you know what I mean? Like, that deal with somebody in recovery. You know what I'm saying? Because it literally just, it talks about all the feelings, all the emotions, like, the way that, like, the 12 steps in Narcotics Anonymous are set up, like, I feel like that they, like, base it off of that. I'm not kidding. Like, that's, like, just reading that entire book, literally, like, I, like, cried the first 4 times I read it. And then after that, I still cried. You know what I'm saying? But it was just, I got to learn about everybody that has had a past, you know what I'm saying? And this is one thing that one of the ladies said to me at U-turn. She said, every saint has a past, every sinner has a future. And that, I think, is one of the best things, like one of the best quotes that I've ever heard, because it's so true. You know what I'm saying? We've all been put through hell, whether it's been drugs or not. You know what I mean? Either your family's put you through hell or something. You know what I mean? We're all alike. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, it feels good to know that even though I've been through hell, you know what I mean, I have a future. And God has showed me that. And I honestly believe that God speaks through people. Because any person that's in this room tonight, anything that you say to me, I believe that God put it on your heart to tell me. Or to say any, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, it's so crazy. And like, whether it's good, bad, or you're going to sit there and be miserable, you know what I mean? God is going to sit there and God's going to help you through it. Or God's going to sit there and tell you that it's going to be okay. You know what I mean? And for me today, I am okay. And I'm happy. And I wouldn't have been able to do it without God, you know what I'm saying, and without Red. But no, I love him. And
Glad you put God first.
And that's one of the things that I learned, though, that I do have to put him first before anything, you know what I mean? And that was hard for me because I was like, well, I love my family. And they're like, okay, but you love God more. I'm like, no, I love my family. And they're like, well, he's your father. And I'm like, no, my dad is my dad. And they're like, and I didn't get it, you know what I'm saying? And I was like fighting with them. And they're like, we're all children of God. And I was like, okay, all right, now what? You know what I'm saying? But like, it's true though, like he is such a significant part of my life today. And I want to stay that way, you know what I'm saying? And I got baptized. So, and that was awesome. That was literally probably one of the best days of my life. And I started attending a church over in Lexington, North Carolina, called High Rock. And the pastor there is Pastor Mike. And he is so cool. Like, you would never think he's a pastor ever because he's just so cool. You know what I mean? And he's so funny. And they told us that they were doing baptisms or whatever. And I was like, okay, cool. So, you know, I'm going to go in like a pool, whatever. They're like, nope, we do it at a lake. And I'm like, okay, well, when's the next time? You know what I mean? Because like, I was like, I'm not going in that dirty lake. That's not happening. But I did it. And my mom is still here in Jersey. And she ended up flying in just for my baptism and left the next day. But like that day, like, it's just that entire day, like, it was literally like, I felt renewed, you know what I'm saying? And like, it just gives you such a feeling of like, you just feel so new, like, you know what I'm saying? And like, it's just,
you were reborn.
yeah, and that's exactly what it was. And it felt so good, you know? And I had my sister and my brother-in-law with me and my mother, and I was like crying and laughing and crying and laughing, but I can laugh today and I can cry today. And it's over good things, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, I'm still faced with trials and I'm still faced with life, you know what I mean? We all are. But I don't have to use over it today. And it's true because, like, you know, it's sick because my addict thinking is like, okay, well, if you were happy, you got high. If you got sad, you got high. If you were bored, you got high. If you were anything, you got high. You know what I mean? You got high all the time. And I don't have to do that today. And I get to actually feel emotions. And I'm like, why am I feeling like this? You know what I mean? But I know that everybody else has to. So why am I any different? You know what I mean?
God.
Yeah. And prayer is one of the biggest things that I have right now. And that whole quote, prayer changes things, is so true. It's so true. Because you can pray over the littlest things. The person that's in front of you driving and you want to kill them. You know what I'm saying? You pray on it and he sits there and helps you with it. I'm being serious. Like, it's so crazy because you can pray over anything and God is always listening. Always. Like, when you think he's not listening, oh, he's listening. It doesn't matter how many millions of people are sitting there praying. Like, he listens to everything that we say. And he looks at everything that we do. And he knows that all of us are sinners. You know what I mean? And he knows that. You know what I mean? So, like, he's not going to sit there and judge any of us. So I think it's really cool.